Well, now we will turn our attention to politics. And when we say politics, of course, you know, the elections next, the next governorship elections that will happen in Osun State this weekend. And that's what we'll focus on. But remember, there's been a lot of comments about all of those, the politicians, political parties, they're campaigning vigorously at that, sending out lots of comments and then reported in the dailies. Well, let's just bring you some of them, which we expect to be focused on today on the program. Let's take a look.
The top contenders in this political race are the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the All Progressive Congress, which currently holds the mantle of power in the state. But with politics, any moves by opposition parties are viewed with suspicion by all contending parties. And the case is no different in Osun State, which the PDP says is capable of disrupting the peaceful conduct of the August 9th election, if not quickly nipped in the bud.
Because of the beating that opposition has taken in Ekiti, I am from Lagos. I know the effort they are making now to invade is an invasion of Osun with people from Lagos.
Other issues such as the deployment and operations of the security personnel during the elections and the states that profile have all been thrown up as campaign issues.
Nigeria now, many people say, is under the worst security situation since the Civil War. Some will even say that more. Osun is part of Nigeria. Ekiti State is part of Nigeria. If you are the president and commander-in-chief of Nigeria, what will you do?
15,000 Nigerians that last year had been slaughtered by the Boko Haramites in the north, many of them Southerners and many of them fellow Muslims. The APC has links with Boko Haram. Now, I will make the final submission and I'll make the case simple and clear. I repeat, as far as I'm concerned, Boko Haram is the armed wing of the APC, and the APC is the political wing of Boko Haram.
The Minister of State for Defense, however, makes it clear that in spite of all this, his party's responsibility is to ensure the safety of Nigerians, irrespective of party affiliations. This vow, he says, he will uphold before, during, and after the elections to ensure a safe Osun State.
Our effort here is not to give an advantage to PDP. It is rather to give advantage to the good people of Osun State, so that the day after the election, their voice will have been legitimately heard.
With the election less than 5 days away, it may be instructive to point out that whoever emerges victorious should understand why the votes were cast in the first place.
The whole country knows who is funding Boko Haram, and we pray that very soon their secrets will be revealed to the people of Nigeria. The president just said it that in a month or 2 months that they will see the end of Boko Haram. How is he sure of giving us deadline if they don't know who are behind Boko Haram? We leave them to the judgment of God. Our whole focus is Saturday's election. We know we have the support of the people of the state of Osun. The people that are not popular, if you are not on ground, that is when we will now be looking for people from outside to come and support you. Today, to the glory of God, if elections are called today, Aregbesola will score 80%. People of Osun have resolved that Aregbesola is their man. They've tested him, they've trusted him.
Well, there you have all of those comments, most of them. Maybe some, actually, because they're still speaking, even as we speak here today. But we'll go over now to our Abuja studios, where Dr. Sosiri Joabi-Peterside joins us. He's a lecturer in the University of Port Harcourt. Morning, and thank you for joining us today. But having listened to all of those comments from our reports there, what's your impression about the conduct of politicians ahead of that election?
Well, honestly, for every Nigerian
interested in what I call a democratic consolidation. The comments that are actually coming from the politicians actually give cause for concern, because elections is very central to democratic governance in any part of the world. And for us as Nigerians, it has always posed very serious problem in our country. And therefore, everyone needs to be concerned. The kind of statements that are emanating from the politicians and members of the governing elite. There are statements that are actually creating concern and generating tension in our country. Particularly, if you listen this morning, since yesterday, certain political parties and politicians are asking the people to follow their votes. We have had such statements in the past, and actually threat also to form a parallel government should things go the way they don't expect. I think that we need to be very, very careful and take the country as a major, constituency, irrespective of whatever political party we belong. But at the moment, the kind of statements that are emanating from members of the political class, there is cause for concern. But I think that as citizens, we need to be vigilant and to make sure that we don't allow ourselves to be led into any act or action that actually can create problem in our country. Particularly given the kind of security situation we find ourselves, we're already struggling to deal with the problem of insurgency, military, insurgency in our country. And to have another problem on hand is also a very, very serious problem. But my concern as one who teaches in the university, and we train young people, they come out as graduates, and they serve this country, the fatherland for 1 year as youth corpers. And we have seen that actually in recent times, these are the people who are actually being used, part of them, majority of them are being used in the election, as in the conduct of elections. And we have also seen that the battery experience where, corpers, these are people born by parents, trained by parents, and look forward, that these are going to be future leaders, and for them to lose their life in course of serving their father country and their fatherland in the election process. But I'm also very much afraid that these are the persons who are also going to be used these times, and if things are not done properly, security not provided for them, they could also be, victims. So I think that this country needs to rise as citizens, as government, to make sure that these young Nigerians who are serving their fatherland for 1 year and who are going to take part in these elections are given the necessary protection and the environment properly protected so that they can do their work and also return to their parents. I think that this is an issue which we need to take very seriously.
Are you foreseeing violence in this election?
Honestly, when you say foreseen violence, the kind of statements that are coming, if, for instance, people are complaining, politicians are complaining that we don't need, security, security men don't need to come into a place where election is being conducted, and some of the political parties are directing that all their elected representatives, all those who are occupying political positions in any part of the country should all mobilize, with a particular state. That can also create its own problem, because given the way these politicians operate, each one of them, if you say a member of House of Representatives or a senator, each may have one mobile police, because they carry these security men while the majority of the citizens have nobody to look after them. Now, if each of them will move to a particular state, Osun state, with their security aids, you talk about the commissioners in that state, hey, you have a lot of security issues actually in that area. And there are also threats that allegations and counter allegations of both parties that people are deploying from one state, neighboring state to the other. And that if anything happens, contrary to the expectations, they are not going to take that. I think that creates tension and cause for concern for every citizen in our country. And of course, it is a very serious challenge to the members of the governing elite and the government in the center in our country to also make sure that the election needs to be peaceful. And we have seen that elections have been peaceful. We saw it happen in Ekiti State very recently. We have seen it happen in 2012 also in Benin. We have seen that also happen in Adamawa. We have seen that also happen in Anambra. So we also think that whatever government had done and whatever citizens have done to make sure that elections in those states were peaceful, there is also the need in recent time to also make sure that the election taking place this weekend is also very, very peaceful. Security men need to be deployed to make sure that no citizen loses his life.